Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we return to Sina. This time she's doing an Elton John cover, and it's a song I remember very distinctly when it came out. We're watching her do I'm Still Standing today, which comes off the Too Low for Zero album from 1983. I happen to have a copy right here. It looks like that on the inside, and then so it's kind of like the Led Zeppelin 3 cover. It's got the die cuts, in there. So you can see stuff through it. But yeah, this had a few big hits on it. It had, I guess that's why they call it the blues. Mm-hmm. And then this one, I'm Still Standing. Those were the big ones. Kiss the Bride was a little bit of a hit too. But
I remember them.
Decent album. One of his better latter-day albums. Although, having said that, his last album, the one with Brandi Carlile, I think was really good. Really enjoyed that one. Just came out last year, so I'd recommend that one if you haven't checked in lately with Elton. But I thought it would be fun to see what Sina did with Nigel Olsson's beat, because one thing about this album is that it was the first time the original Elton John band that had started at Honky Chateau was back together again for the first time in 7-8 years, something like that. So it was a big return to form in that way. He had the band. He even had Bernie Taupin doing all of the lyrics, I believe, on this one. We're always interested in seeing what Sina does with her videos. They're always educational and fun to watch. She's got a way of teaching visually that works really well, and she has fun with it too. Adrian, do you have any thoughts ahead before we look at this?
I got that song going through my head now. Now you've done it.
Yeah.
Let's hear Sina play along with it.
Okay, let's do it, and we'll discuss afterwards.
Freezes just like ice, and there's a cold and lonely light that shines from you. You wind up like the wreck you hide behind that mask you use. And did you think this fool could never win? Well, look at me, I'm coming back.
All right. Well, what'd you think, Adrian?
Oh, man, that was good. That was very faithful. Nigel Olsson would be psyched to see Sina carrying over the work of the legends, himself included.
Yeah, one thing I noticed about this song that people may not have noticed immediately is that even though it starts with a very straight drum beat, it's just boom, 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 boom. It's very much a shuffle and very much has that spirit going throughout the entire song. You hear the shuffle a lot more in the fills than you do in the straight beat. Nigel has maybe a sixth sense almost about everything that Elton and Bernie write. He just seems to know exactly what to play there. I think for the most part, he comes up with the parts and, probably gets a little bit of direction here and there, we're looking for a different kind of thing here. But generally, I think he's the one composing the parts. And they're stellar. Him and Dee Murray, in particular, were quite the rhythm section back in the day. They're the original Elton John band. They were still together for this one. This was actually one of the last albums that I think they did together. There might have been one more. And then Dee passed away in the early 90s. So that was that, unfortunately. But this was a great way to go out. Dee was quite the bass player. He had an understated and yet very important melodic sense in his bass playing. And you could tell, if you listened enough to Elton John, you could definitely recognize Dee. But yeah, I think that she got Nigel across very well. If you listen to any of Nigel's drum patterns, all of them are a little bit like that, like they've got the feel. They feel very human. They feel like they make sense based upon what the lyrics are talking about and where the song is going. It's a really good connection. That's why I think that the very best records that Elton ever made were with Nigel Olsson and Davy Johnstone and Dee up until his passing. But yeah, good stuff. And it was good to see Sina actually showing us.
Yeah, I noticed with the drum beat, it begins with a simple enough beat, but it gets more complex as the song goes on. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty elaborate by the end of the song.
That's right. This is also at a point where drum machines had taken over much of the music business, the pop music business. And there were other songs out that made that really clear. This is not drum machine based, but the beat almost reminds me of something that maybe would have been written maybe with a drum machine. Maybe the demo was done with a drum machine. That was kind of the basis. Because it is pretty metronomic in a lot of ways. It kind of does do, 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 do. And then just when the fills come along, all that kind of a thing going on. That's where you really hear the shuffle the most. As usual, Sina was really a good study. It's good to be able to watch her and have her perform the part and just see exactly what was going on there. Because I kind of forgot that he also added that extra tom during the choruses to give it a little bit of extra meat. She showed that very clearly.
Yeah, the hand clapping was a great touch. Sina doing 2 hand clapping.
Yeah, I've noticed she will do that once in a while. In fact, there's another video that she has dropped recently where it's just her and her bass drum and her snare drum. And then there's other people that show up just the hands with like shakers or clapping or whatever is needed, for the song. And so, I think that's useful because it's memorable. It's not quite what you expect. And you'll remember that part because you're seeing somebody actually doing it on screen, especially when she's just sitting there on a bass drum and a snare. And you're like, huh? Where's your drum kit? But yeah, I liked this. I liked the bedazzled outfit she wore for this, which I assume was in tribute to Elton himself. All right, folks, why don't you let us know what you thought of this? If there's anything that occurred to you that you think we missed, any other details in there that you'd like to accentuate, leave all of it below for us, and we will take note. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed the presentation, please subscribe. All right, thanks so much for joining us today. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care, folks.
See you all later.